another beautiful beautiful Monday morning to talk sport once again after a very, very eventful weekend in the world of sport where we had a whole lot of sporting activities. And of course, Monday morning is just the right time to bring you up to speed with all of that with in-depth analysis and all the highlights, all the games that you could have missed over the weekend. Buluwaji Ogma is my name. Toluwani Polabe is with me in the studio, and together we will take you through some of the things that happened in the world of sports over the weekend, and of course bringing you into the mood for this week, and of course telling you what to expect this very week. Quite a lot to talk about today. This week it's loaded for Nigerian football. I must tell you, WAFU B, we're into the finals already. We'll be taking on Côte d'Ivoire. These on Wednesday to be precise. Of course, the Falcons, they have a big tie against the South Africans, also holding this week. As now you know that it's a very, very big week for Nigerian football, and we can't wait to support and of course talk about them. Toluwani is here once again. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning to you, Buluwaji, and I'm so excited to be here this wonderful morning. And like you said, it's all top-notch analysis, in-depth analysis also. Wonderful highlight for you for you to enjoy and for your viewing pleasure also. Once again, good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, as usual, let's start with your talking point for the weekend. Your highlights of the weekend, your high points and low points.
Okay, yes, I think my highlight started off on Friday, where the Super Falcons, went to a victory.
Gun blazing.
Massive trashing right there, like gun blazing, and it got me so excited. I was in a good mood throughout the week. And also, in the world of boxing, also it looks like no UK fighter can take down Alexander Usyk right there.
So then Chisora after the fight was like, stop beating us.
Stop beating us. Actually, just leave us alone. What have we done? Let us be. I think that's another highlight for me.
When you're great, you're great.
Yes, actually, for when you're great, you're great. I think Usyk has just done fantastic right there. I'm sure we'll be having to discuss that also this wonderful morning. And my low point for me, I don't know, I think it's going to be in the world of transfer, where we're having Arsenal, battling with the transfer of Victor Gyökeres, back and forth right there. So I think that's just going to be my, low point right there.
I mean, quite a lot to talk about on the show this beautiful morning, I must tell you. And talk about transfers also. Arsenal is struggling with Gyökeres, and there's a headway already for Victor Osimhen. It appears he's taking there. This morning, the chairman of Galatasaray just confirmed that they're close to getting their man. The promissory notes, the credit notes already confirmed with the bank. Napoli okay with that. They paid a certain amount, and over the next 2 years, they will pay the balance. What's your take on that Victor's deal? Yes, getting settled, but that move to Turkey.
It's just a move for me. I don't know the idea. I don't know. Maybe it's when Victor Osimhen finally has to speak, to us. I think that's when we're going to understand the move to Turkey, right there. But for me, like I said, I've said it over time that the Turkish league is not in the 5 top leagues in the world, and a player like Kylian Mbappe should not even be having the golden boot. Reason me because if you look at the goal scoring position of Victor Gyökeres last season alongside with Victor Osimhen, you should see that they should be battling in that position for the golden boot right there. But because they are not in the top 5 league of the world, that's why you see Victor Gyökeres pulling for a move away from Sporting Lisbon to be in the top flight league of the world, which is Arsenal, also the Premier League. And for Victor Osimhen, it begs one. I can understand the fan love and the likes and the things like that, and maybe also maybe the salary also is what is looking at, because if you come down to the Premier League, the EU tax you're paying right there. But I'm sure that would have covered the whole thing right there for him in Turkey. I just hope that everything goes fine for him right there in Turkey.
And absolutely, let's kickstart by informing that Yobe Desa Stars, of course, have decided to dissolve their technical crew following their struggles in the recently concluded NNL season. In addition to the major shake-up, the technical department, the club's board has also terminated the contract of both the team captain and the first-choice goalkeeper. While the club secretary and media officer were the only ones retained, 20 players have been placed on the transfer list as part of a major overhaul. That's Yobe Desa Stars, who started a little brightly at the start of the season, but didn't end well. They didn't pick the ticket to the NPFL, and the board is saying this is the time to rejig, to reshape, because we want a brilliant season next time. And I mean, for me, drop everybody, bring in the right ones, you should get the result.
And I think you've said it all already. You know, drop everybody, bring in the right ones. I think that's the best thing you can do. And the problem is, so how do you get the best legs? You know, to now rejig the team again, to start again. You know, having to drop 20 players on the transfer list. You know, the club captain, you know, out of the team. You know, the goalkeeper also out. You're just retaining
the technical
crew out already. So I think it's a whole lot going on right now. You know, for Yobe Zeda, but we can just, you know, hope that they bring in the right, you know, players, you know, to help the team back.
You know, one thing I like about the situation is that it's happening in July. The league starts in September. So you have at least a month
to plan.
To even plan and bring in the right players. So because NNL is difficult.
It's difficult
actually.
And you know, if we had Toby online right now, he would say that's the jungle.
It's a jungle.
It
is a jungle.
It's scavenging right there.
Honestly,
you know, it's a whole lot.
All right, from Yobe Desa Stars, let's talk about Nigerian Premier Football League. One club that will be representing us on the continent is Rivers United. They've officially unveiled their kits for the upcoming 2025-2026 MPFL season. The unveiling ceremony took place on Saturday at the club secretariat in Port Harcourt. The new home kit features a bold blue and white design made from premium polyester fabrics. Now, the material showcases intricate patterns that enhances, you know, the visual appeal and overall quality of the jersey. Now, Rivers United finished second on the table last season, and we'll be looking to build on that momentum when the new season starts in August, and also representing us on the continent as well. So they're doing that to ensure that they are in the right place. And also to add that they are also looking to bolster their squad. They've acquired Chinedu Sunday from newly promoted side that talking about Kun Khalifat Football Club. But he has a whole lot in his hand because he must show that he's a right buy. Because Rivers United already have a lot of attackers up front. He must prove himself to break into the Rivers United side. True. And I'm interested, I want to talk about this team because they will be representing us on the continent. We've not had good representations in, you know, in time past. We need teams coming up to do that. And that's exactly what we want from them. Rivers United preparing already, bringing in the players. Let's hope they give us good representation.
Yes, I think the only thing we can do is to hope that they give us a good, you know, representation. But wonderful jersey right there, you know, is giving quality, and we hope that, you know, aside from the jersey, you know, the players also can give us quality on the pitch of play. So I think it's a whole lot going forward. They're trying to put things in place, you know, how to represent us, you know, in style. So it's actually very okay, you know, to have those jersey, you know, in beautiful colors right there, but also bringing new additions.
Talking about Chinedu coming in for Kun Khalifat should be selling.
I was about going there because, you know, how do you sell? So I don't understand how you run the transfer, you know, right there, and because that's a quality player, and also even the Chinedu also will need to break, like you said, they will need to break into Rivers United. So he has so much to do going forward in that time. So I'm sure maybe the mindset is, you know, representing is going to be, you know, in contention to represent, you know,
the continent. Also, football is enough.
Is enough
for Kun Khalifat
to let that player go. So I think it's going to be reinforcement also. Look at who you can also use, you know, to replace, you know, Chinedu right there. So I think it's a lot. It's going to be a big deal, you know, for Rivers United also. And we hope that, you know, a player like Chinedu also can break into the ranks, get the goals on the lockup for his team, also for himself, and also Kun Khalifat also can have a good replacement, you know, for Chinedu right there.
Kun Khalifat needs to understand that NNL is not just not the only jungle we have in Nigeria. MPFL is equally a jungle.
It is.
You have to be fully prepared.
Actually, and if you're talking fully prepared, it's sure that you don't need to sell your star players out of the team.
If you sell them for one reason or the other, you must replace them appropriately. All right, let's move on this beautiful morning. We've got a lot of grounds to cover today. Let's go straight to Ghana, where Cote d'Ivoire will face the Flying Eagles of Nigeria in the final of the 2025 WAFU Under-20 Championship. The Baby Elephants, that's what they're called. They defeated host Ghana's Black Satellite 2-1 in the semi-finals in Prampam yesterday. Benjamin Sivanjo gave Ghana an early lead, but Cote d'Ivoire rallied to win the thrilling contest right at Ghana's backyard. Earlier, defending champions, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria prevailed 4-3 on penalties over the Republic of Niger. The game ended goalless in regulation time. The final will be held in Prampam on Wednesday. Our boys gunning for a successful defense. I think we're talking about who would love to meet in the finals. And here is Ivory Coast before us. I remember that I was just praying that God, please don't allow him remember what we said last week. I just still going to remember. You know, but I think no. Honestly, that prediction I made that day for this one was a sentimental one, anyways.
Okay.
I wanted Ivory Coast, but I felt Ivory Coast would be a little easier for us than playing the home team. And going by the rivalry between us.
Yes, yeah.
There's a way it will spoil them.
Yeah, it would. It would. I remembered, AFCON. We had them in the final, and I'm sure, it's also going to be a revenge in their mindset. But that's just a little bit of that. But it's going to be a big game because if you look at, Cote d'Ivoire side actually defeated Ghana, the team that we're thinking that we're going to meet, and look like a difficult team. It's a big deal for them also. So it's going to be a big one. And also look at, how we played the last game. Not drawn, went on penalty. Right, this is going to be a big game of us defending that, one right there. And the players need to set their minds set that, our Cote d'Ivoire is going to be a pushover. It's going to be a walk in the park for them right there. So it's going to be a big battle. So we're expecting, entertaining football right there.
But the good thing is that we're getting the right preparations for the World Cup.
Yes, actually.
That's something I love.
Actually, I think it's just a good, a point right there to see how we can prepare for the World Cup because that's just the mindset right now. We need to prepare ourselves for the market in Chile, right, to see how this player can get in form and get in sync, have the chemistry between each other, to see how far they can go. So for me, I think it's just going to work. I think all is working in alignment for what we are planning ahead, in the World Cup for Chile.
You think the Flying Eagles will come back with a trophy?
Yeah, actually, they will.
All right, fingers crossed. Let's move straight to Casablanca, where Nigeria's Super Falcons returned to training barely 24 hours after their emphatic 5-0 victory over Zambia at the 2024 WAFCON. Without taking a rest day, the 9-time African champions hit the pitch on Sunday to begin preparations for their high-stakes semi-final clash against defending champions South Africa, built for tomorrow, Tuesday. The encounter promises to be a thrilling battle, no doubt, between two of the continent's top sides, with a coveted place in the final at stake. The second semi-final will pit host Morocco versus Ghana. Winners from both sides will meet in the finals, while the losing teams will contest for a top place finish. Now, following the team's media campaign dubbed Mission X that Toluani has been talking about, the Super Falcons will be aiming to extend their dominant record in the competition and, of course, reclaim their continental crown that they last won in 2018. Of course, let me also drop this, that $300,000 the girls have earned following their qualification for the semi-finals. That's about 458 million naira. Following their qualification for the semi-final. Here's another big game before us. It's a loaded week.
Actually, Tuesday, back to back. So for me, it's actually loaded. But first, let me give congratulations, to the Super Falcons Nigeria for doing us proud right here against Zambia. Like I said, it's not. I was just happy that it gave us the feel of what we wanted to experience at WAFCON, and not normally we would not be speaking about things like because we know it's just a walkover. Super Falcons, let's just enjoy. When we look at our phone,
but then it was
Zambia. So
two powerful strikers up front.
So the pressure was much. We were wondering what's going to happen.
They knocked us out last time.
Come on, but right now, it shows that to win trophies, to win championship, you must have a good defensive line. And I think the Super Falcons have shown that. We're yet to concede a goal in this tournament, and it's a big deal, for us. So big shout out to all the technical management of the defensive line, right, and also our players having to defend, in that up front. So I think it's a good one. But going forward, like I said, it's going to be a battle, on front.
Talking about battle first. I mean, we've been solid defensively. We've been doing so. And don't forget at the start of this competition, we had issues scoring goals. We talked about it a lot on this show.
All of a sudden,
all of a sudden, 5 goals. Like, whoa,
like,
that's what I want to see.
So I'm sure they're listening to us, maybe.
Absolutely. I'm sure the media officers have been following us. They've been following our shows, of course, listening to us. And then, the fact that at the quarterfinal stage, we backed them 5 goals.
Yes, 5.
I mean, that's enough confidence going into the semifinals and the finals.
It is actually. And for me, I'm so excited to see how this will pan out. And I know it's going to pan out a victory. Like I said on Friday, I said, let's give the young ones the chance to play. And you'll see them play. You can bring in an Aziza Toshola to come in, to experience later on, and the likes of the other players like that. But you can have experienced players, play in the pack of the
midfield. Honestly, and it worked for us against Zambia because Zambia had a number of young stars, and there was no way our own legs could match them.
So
and it was nice
to see that. And so I'm sure the coach also will have that mindset, to play the young guns again to see how far they can go. And if it's not working, tweak it again the second half, or maybe bring in experienced players to play. Who have played the South African side back to back. And I'm sure it's going to be victory for us in this competition. Remember, we're here to concede. Right now we're scoring the goals. We're getting it all dusted. So I think it's a big one. Also the prize money already showing the pocket.
Is there already 458 million naira.
Massive,
He also be
massive.
smiling.
Massive one.
That's a big plus for Nigerian
Yeah,
football.
big one.
We will be able to pump that back
Yeah.
into development of Nigerian women football,
We hope so.
which we definitely need at this point. But then, the South Africans are ahead of us right now. They're big. They're the defending champions.
Yeah,
The best coach in Africa is with them, you know, and some of the best players on the continent. It is equally huge as the Zambians.
Actually,
but we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Actually, we can do it. We have done it over the years. You know, it's not easy to hold 9. We were talking 9, and right now we're going for the 10th one. So it's not easy. But I know the Super Falcons can do it. You know, they have done it before. You know, they can do it again. And having to, you know, the morale is high right now. Defeating the Zambian side right now is the defending champions. I'm sure you know the mindset is clear right now. Justin Madigo would have told them this is the mindset. You know, keep the form on and don't over. I think the word would be don't overwork yourself right now, and you know don't overthink that you know it's done and dusted. It's not done and dusted until the 90th minute. That's when we know that the game is over, and when the game is over, it's us winning right there. So I think it's just going to be you know a plus for the Super Falcons Nigeria to see how you know we can edge the defending champions out of this you know competition.
Absolutely, I've been talking to my South African friends, and they're talking tough already. I mean, those people feel that we are their rivals. Honestly. We're rivals.
Even on the men's stage, so is all.
You know, they could come up with the impression that we're rivals. Honestly, we're not. We're not. I don't think so, honestly. But it is what it is. Let's just give them the opportunity. Let them talk. But on the pitch, we'll definitely deal with them. Let's move on and talk about this Nigerian forward. His name is Victor Boniface. He has spoken out about his collapse move to Bayer Leverkusen, from Bayer Leverkusen to Al Nassr. Remember, last year, Boniface had already agreed personal terms with the Saudi Pro League club, which I've seen him, you know, you could have seen him line up with Cristiano Ronaldo at 23. You know, it was set to earn about 45 million euros over 3 years, despite the Nigerian international already passing medicals. And of course, the clubs already reached agreement, but the Saudi Arabian side ultimately opted to sign Jean Duran from Aston Villa. Now, according to Boniface, a podcast I followed over the weekend, it says, I was ready to go. I packed my bag. I was living in Cologne. I drove already to Frankfurt. You know, the money is a lot, to be honest. Most of my designer shoes and clothes I already handed them out to my friends at home. The flight was waiting. I was in my hotel room just praying for the deal to happen. But it did not work out at last. Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. I mean, I fell for this man. Just listen to the things he mentioned there. He packed. He moved away from Cologne, drove to Frankfurt. He was already there. The private jet was waiting to fly him down to Saudi Arabia. He was just in his hotel. Doled out his designer shirt, designer boots. Say it's time to go and make the money in Saudi Arabia. We're talking about it already. Oh my.
Oh boy. You know, I think for Victor Boniface, you know, having to hear that podcast also yesterday, I was really, really sad for him. You know, but later, you know, he said, "Come on, man, the money is massive. We're talking oil. We're talking money. I don't know if you even know the money. We're talking money,
yes.
and you know, the money is going to span to the next 5 generations for him. You know, if that deal has pulled through. But you know, he said maybe the village people were just waiting for him and smiling at that. And you know, they play actually, and you know, it looked like a different ball game because he said he even had to call his brother, you know, speaking about it.
Told them already that I'm on my way.
And the brother had to go back and say, I'm on wait, because the brother actually advised him not to go.
Yes.
Then when the brother looked at the money, bros, I beg go. That money is massive. Go and you can come back. You know, he already had his life planned already.
Yeah.
Go 3 years, come back again. Age was on the side, you know, and looking at it, but the whole thing did not work out for him. But we just hope for the very best for Victor Boniface. You know, I just want him to leave the talk out of this season and let him do the work on the pitch. You know, I understand that he may be a very funny guy and influencer right now, but you know, let him do the work. And also for the Super Eagles, it's not looking like it's working. More of that for Victor Boniface. Remember, we've got an update. You know, we don't know if it's still the joke of Victor Boniface saying it's done.
No, my name it is
Victor Boniface.
It's Victor Boniface. You know, okay. I mean, after the match just came out like. I think it was like I don't tire.
I don't tire. I don't hang my boots. I don't see those score again.
I don't see those score again. Then he came back to delete the post and all of that. Yeah. I mean, Victor is not a very serious person. Those who know him know that. He's not a very serious person. Even when you sit with him to talk, you know that he's not a very serious person. But I wish him all the best. We want to see more of him with the Super Eagles, getting the goals for us, and of course put all of the old deal situation behind him. I think that's something he needs to do. He needs to get it behind him.
But
it can still happen. The deal can still happen.
Age is still on the side, so it can still still happen if he gets the right agent working on that deal properly for him. And also I just hope that
Saudi is there. The money is there. It's not going anywhere.
The money is there. And I'm just hoping that he can work with the former Manchester United coach Eric Ten Hag. Remember, pre-season is not going too well for them. You're right there. So we're just hoping that it works for Bayer Leverkusen next season.
Oh well, let's start from one Victor to the more serious Victor now. And that's Victor Osimhen. We understand that Galatasaray, they are on the verge of finalizing one of the most significant transfer in the history of the club. With Nigerian international Victor Osimhen set to arrive Istanbul this week. The high-profile move marks a major statement by the Turkish champions, and of course, caught the attention of everyone across Europe, in fact, across the globe, as a series of complex negotiations with Napoli, characterized by intermittent hurdles linked to club president Aurelio De Laurentiis' shifting demands, and a comprehensive agreement, has now been reached as we speak. Galatasaray will pay an initial 40 million euros, with a further 35 million euros to be settled in 2 installments by the end of 2026. The deal also includes a 10% sell-on clause in favor of Napoli, as well as a restriction preventing Osimhen moving to an Italian club in the next 2 years. Napoli's stipulation for a bank guarantee has reportedly been fulfilled, and the contracts await final signature. Now, both Italian media, inside and outside, are already talking about this one. Let me inform that technical director Okan Buruk made a statement this morning, and I quote, he said it in the Turkish language, and I will translate.
Break it back.
Yeah. It says the Osimhen transfer is progressing positively. We are nearing completion. We want it to be completed as soon as possible. We hope it will be finalized very soon. We've always been waiting for Osimhen. We'll sign a goalkeeper as well. We want to address our shortcomings there. Preparations are underway for a major announcement of this 75 million euro transfer. So, Toluwani, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
A record fee in Turkish, football right there.
I've never heard a Turkish club trigger a release clause
at all. So I think
this is the only player that can make them trigger.
It's just the only player, and I remember it showed why he deserved this.
Remember the last time we were talking about this? I was saying, how will a Turkish club pay 75 million? They can't afford it. We know their strengths in that.
But it's a player, Victor Osimhen. He did that for them last season on loan. You saw what he did. He won the league for them. He also won. He won everything for them. He won everything for them. And and I think it's just the management of. It's just the manager. Yes, the management of the Napoli side, De Laurentiis. The man is just too corny, and he knows how to do transfer.
Did you say corny?
Yes.
Abba wants to make money.
He wants to make money, but I think.
Tell me how you can afford this deal.
You can't.
Don't stretch it.
Don't stretch it.
You know the part of the contract that caught my attention is 10% return. Should they sell Victor at any point? Napoli will still get 10%. That is there. And then don't bring this boy back to Italy to terrorize us in the next 2 years. Don't bring him back.
I think one of the happiness why they're riding
on this,
I give it to them, and I'm sure why they're riding on this is because they already felt Victor Osimhen was going to left already on loan. So it shows that are we going to falter at the end of the day? They won the league, so there's a power shot already. Come on, we did it without you. You thought it was not going to work out. It worked out already. So let's not show you power. Just let's see how it plays out right there. And they sat on that deal.
He wanted everything.
He wanted to frustrate everything from Victor Osimhen,
and he got it.
And he got it actually. Having to get 10 million back again if you sell him.
Get it.
And you're not going to send him again.
Because he knows that at some point Victor will leave.
Will leave actually.
And he still want to cash in.
Cash in is massive. Like I said, I just hope that Victor Osimhen, I can get it, done and dusted again in Turkey like he has done it, last season. Like we just hope that he can work out for him again. And let's see him, in Major League. We just want to see him in Major League. We can understand that, maybe the salary issues and all did not work out for him, but I'm sure, I was thinking, Chelsea could have done this deal. They could have done this deal.
So, Mimika was given this impression the other time that he's in charge of the deal.
Yeah, so we don't know where Mikel was even standing. If he was the agent or he was just running podcasts. So and because at the end of the day, I'm sure Chelsea fans will be thinking, Mikel, you spoke about this.
You promised us we'll get him,
but we didn't get him.
He told us before the Galatasaray moved. Then he told us he knew where the deal stalled, and he knows when to resume the deal. And,
at the end of the day,
Galatasaray was making moves. There was no Mikel anywhere again. On the way to the happen. Plus. But then you also look at that and say, I think Chelsea moved on.
Yeah, they did that.
Because we looked at the deals that they brought in younger
players, and
younger strikers who have also proven.
They're proven in the Premier League.
I think Chelsea at that point felt
come on, it was just a close deal already for Chelsea, and having to now recruit massive talent in that ranks, right? Liam Delap and also Joao Pedro, and I think
seeing those deals, I knew
actually it's done and dusted because you can't bring in a Joao Pedro, Liam Delap, and Victor Osimhen that same team. So how do you make it work? I remember there's there's Michael Jackson that they are pricing for 100 million. So we hope Remo Stars can. I think only
hold on, 100 million. See, you can price your player whichever way. Please let them price it whichever way. Is their player. He does want his backlog worker. What are you talking about?
Okay, so 100 million is what for Michael Jackson and Nicholas Jackson? Okay.
Nicholas Jackson.
Okay, so we're done with that.
Nicholas Jackson and Michael Jackson. All right, we're done with that. Let's talk a bit of other sports. Let's talk basketball. Where Nigeria's Junior D Tigers ended their debut campaign at the 2025 FIBA Under-19 Women's Basketball World Cup in Czechia on a negative note, following a 96-71 point loss to China in their final classification round game on Sunday, ending the tournament 12th place. Both teams had met in the opening day of the competition, with Nigeria winning 93-88 over the Asian powerhouse. However, the second meeting between the two sides saw the Chinese avenge that loss that they suffered at the hands of the Nigerians. Now, following the conclusion of the competition in Czechia, the next event for our girls will be to take place in Jakarta, Indonesia. That's the FIBA Under-19 Women's Basketball World Cup holding in Jakarta, Indonesia. I wish the girls all the best. Let's talk about their senior girls. Preparations are ongoing for the D Tigress ahead of the 2025 Women's Afro-Basket Championship. And of course, their camp officially opened at the weekend in Abuja, and about 12 players are already in camp as we speak. Well, as of Saturday, 14 players were in camp, and of course their coach, trainer Wakema, a lot has been said about that coach. Of course, she also arrived camp already to oversee training session. Wakama made history in 2023 by becoming the first female head coach of the D Tigress and leading the team to its 4th consecutive FIBA Afro-Basket Women's title, marking the first time a Nigerian female coach achieved such a feat. Under her leadership, D Tigress also became the first African basketball team, male or female, to reach the quarterfinals of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, a milestone that earned Wakama the prestigious FIBA Best Coach Award. She's not only good on the court, she's also beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, man, this guys.
If it was another team coach, we'll talk about it.
Okay, so guys, this is my highlight for the week now. I think Boluwa just done. I think can we just wrap up now? He has done justice already. But moving away from that, I think yes, actually she's beautiful, and she's doing it on the pitch also with the players, and having to work with these players, these young ones, and having to
achieving a lot, making it to the quarterfinals. No Nigerian team has never made it to the quarterfinals
of the Olympics. So
and also came back, we're doing so well, and continued the fashion, won the Afro-Basket, and she wants to do it again.
Yeah, again. So it's going to be back to back, and I don't see anything as actually stopping us on this Afro-Basket right there. But I think there's a whole lot to work on. We need to put these players in top shape.
Yeah, very important. Very important. Don't forget we don't have a league. Many of them are coming from various leagues
across the world. So we need to put them in top shape, and I hope that Wakaman can also see how she can help the grassroots of let's say it works. We just hope it can work. We hope so.
Well, we hope so. Yes, that's the beautiful Rena Wakaba. And big thanks to my director for digging out that one. Because I said she's beautiful. And my director was like, you guys must see that. And that's Wakama for you.
Yeah,
she's young. I think she's engaged. All right, moving to the world of boxing this beautiful morning, where Alexander Usyk defeated Daniel Dubois to become the undisputed heavyweight world champion with a 5th-round knockout at the London's Wembley Stadium on Saturday. Well, victory saw Ukraine's Usyk extend his unbeaten professional record to 24 fights as the WBA, WBC and WBO champion added his British opponent's WIBF belt to his collection.
Yeah.
He has the 4.
Massive.
Early in the 5th round, Usyk, at 38, 11 years older than Dubois, dropped his opponent to the canvas and finished the fight in emphatic fashion, 1 minute and 52 seconds into that round. And of course, it was his trademark left hook that knocked down Daniel Dubois. Usyk, I knew it was going to be flawless, honestly. And I remember saying it on Friday, like, this is Usyk fight. Dubois can't stand.
Yeah, come on. The man is a massive top form, you know, and age is just a number. And
exactly what he said.
Yes, and they actually proved it on the ring. You know, right there. It's just experience. Is you know, I think he has more experience than Dubois right there.
Obviously,
and, obviously,
he defeated everybody.
Everybody. If you look at it,
everybody.
Top five. No, so if you're talking everybody, so we're not talking. Fighters like
we're not talking about the lower rank ones. We're talking about the top guns.
We're talking Anthony Joshua. We're talking Tyson Fury. We're talking massive fighters right there. And he has done that over time. Dubois was just looking like, let me see how we can get this done and dusted. So Dubois came out to say there was an issue in the 1st round. So let's get a new round and let's see how we can get into the 2nd fight.
He dealt with all the top boxers twice.
I was about saying that twice. All of them twice.
Before you say it was a fluke.
No.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. So if anybody's coming back again, so let's see. But I'm sure he's not going to get into that. If anybody's coming again.
No, challengers will come.
They would.
I mean,
I mean from the UK, from the UK fighters. I'm sure they will not want to stay there.
So talking about UK fighters, well, I don't know, but he dealt with the 3 of them.
Yeah, actually.
Tyson Fury, Dubois, Anthony Joshua. But they will still come. That's the point. Because he has it.
He has
the challengers will come.
He has everything.
I mean, now Chisora needs to come and experience. So he's an experience now.
Yes, he's an experience.
Come and experience. But then you look at it and say, he has to be challenged at this point.
Yes, yeah, actually.
And it has to be one of these big guys.
Big guys, actually.
It has to be Fury,
Anthony Joshua,
Derek Chisora,
yeah,
and the Bronze Bomber as well. He will also. He will also want to say
want to be in that contention
in the mix.
Yeah.
If he hasn't retired.
Oh, come on.
And Tyson Fury also needs to come because everyone would want to get this from him.
I think so for me actually, everybody want to get this from him, but I don't see how you want to stop this man. The experience is there for him. He has that in his locker, and I'm sure so the least that can happen is for him to retire and say, you know what, I'm done. So let me just drop the belt for whoever wants to pick it up, and we're good.
Look at him and he say, this man doesn't look like someone who's ready to retire. Honestly speaking,
he's 38.
He's enjoying his time.
He's 38.
He's enjoying his time. He's enjoying his time, and he would want to.
Well, I'm sure the family would not want to risk, all this again. You have done it over time.
The time. What during the fight that day, and I saw how aggressively he's punching. I was like, Nah, Russia calls this.
So guys, you heard it from Boluwaji, so I'm done. So
now Russia calls this leader because honestly, all of this brutality started when the Russia-UK fight started.
Actually, so it was just more of anger and everything.
More of anger and the aggression and saying, see, I'm doing this for my people. Yeah, don't forget. Yeah. Even at the point it was like he's doing it for his father, his family, for the Ukrainian people. And now he's saying it's for the people of the world. I don't know, because he's had enough, man. He's had enough.
Massive fight.
All right, let's move on and talk transfer this time around. As Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford is in Spain to complete a season-long loan move to FC Barcelona. The 27-year-old arrived at Catalonia yesterday after getting permission from United to complete formalities and, of course, to complete his move to Barcelona. He arrived yesterday. We saw pictures, saw videos everywhere. Well, he needs to move on with his career and here is his next destination.
Honestly, no time. He didn't even waste time at all. Like no time. Once he, I'm sure he saw this coming already. I think he wanted the Barcelona move, you know, way before now. And you know, we got the report, you know, from the young Lamine Yamal also, you know, and the likes like that. But I think it's going to be a big move, you know, for Marcus Rashford. It's going to be the second, you know, Englishman, you know, after Gary Lineker also playing for FC Barcelona. He's going to be the second one to be in that, you know, side for FC Barcelona. And I think it's all young. It's going to be a young team right there.
Now, he's going to face stiff competition in the attack.
So I don't see him facing a stiff competition actually, you know, because Lewandowski is not going to give him so much problem. I just feel that where the problem is going to come in is going to be the likes of, you know, Ferran Torres, you know, maybe the likes of Firmino Lopez, you know, in that side. So
don't mention the golden boy.
No. I'm not even talking about Yamal. You can't
mention Yamal.
You can't take out Rafinha out of the team. So I'm sure where he's going to play is going to be up front. So that's what he's going to do, battle with the likes of Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, you know. And I'm sure, you know, as a flick, I said he actually, you know, approved of this transfer also. I remember also, you know, Marcus Rashford, he has the legs. The legs are still, you know, in favor.
I was going to ask that. What does it bring into the team?
Speed, you know, quality, you know, experience, eyes for goals. So I think, you know, he has that in the lock. And also maybe he can learn off, you know, the likes of, you know, wonderful Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah, because I'm also looking and saying maybe it is just a good way to ease him off. Ease him off, right? Ease him off of the team. Remember, you know, last season injury upon injuries for Lewandowski, so it's aging have more this season.
More this season. So let's see how we can bring in, you know, a young talent, right? You know, Marcus Rashford, who has done it over the years, you know, with Manchester United, and let's say, but it's going to be a sad one, you know, for Manchester United to see, you know, a top quality player like Marcus Rashford leave the team. You know, I know it's been back and forth with Manchester United, you know, over Aston Villa with the last 2 seasons.
He was going to remain at Aston Villa.
No, actually, I did not see him. In fact, I did not see him and Asensio remaining at Aston Villa because they were not going to pull that deal through. They were not going to pull it through. But, you know, a big move to FC Barcelona, and trust me, you guys are going to enjoy good football for Marcus Rashford.
All right. A lot of transfer speculation out there. Don't forget that Galatasaray are also easing the team off for Osimhen also. Sending Morata to Como. Just get out. The big boy is coming.
that one transfer, that Morata, please, in the comment section, if you can mention all the teams Morata has played for. Come on.
They find network.
He just made MPFA. If you can bring it to MPFA, it's really a massive one.
I mean, that is unfair. Right? That is unfair. All right, teams are doing the transfers. Of course, in the Premier League, we've seen transfers all around the centre. But one transfer that was sealed also during the week, over the weekend rather, was Noni Madueke. It's finally joined Arsenal Football Club. And Arsenal fans, are they still complaining?
I doubt that. You know, I think it's already something done and dusted already. So why complain? So it's just for Noni Madueke to prove himself to the Gunners that you know, this is the reason why I came into the team, you know, to support and also to win trophies right there. And so it's going to be a big competition for Gabriel Martinelli. I don't see a competition.
Honestly, why were Arsenal fans complaining in the first place?
Because if you look at the track record of Noni Madueke, what's the difference between Noni Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli? There's no difference.
But he's young.
A Trossard is even better, you know, than the two players actually. So if you look at it, so what are you bringing to the team? Absolutely nothing. If you
signed him for a reason, right? It's probably something that the fans didn't see.
Okay, so we hope to see that next season. So because I keep wondering why Noni Madueke into a team like the Gunners.
But you know, honestly, let's cut him some slacks. I mean, he's young. He could get better. Years ahead of me, he's just 22, and he could 23. He could get better. You know?
He could. You know, actually, because it reminds me of a certain Memphis Depay also. You know, who everybody thought could get better. You know, from a team from PSV straight down to Manchester United. So we're hoping that Noni Madueke also can get better.
Maybe Chelsea wasn't. Maybe he never had that opportunity. At Chelsea.
He had the opportunity.
Maybe Chelsea was too star-studded.
Chelsea fans will not take that. He played every game for Chelsea, so they won't take that. He had every opportunity. There were times that.
Was it a good sell for Chelsea?
A massive sell. Massive. You're talking 50. Massive for Chelsea. massive actually. If come on, no Chelsea, no this transfer window, massive. No, you guys have done justice to this transfer window actually, massive. You know, and also if you can pull a deal like Nicolas Jackson for 100 million, another massive one, massive.
Definitely,
massive.
No one will sign Jackson for 100 million.
Massive
Honestly speaking, no one will sign for 100 million.
Deal.
But one deal that would definitely make Arsenal fans happy is should they get in Gyökeres, which we think that they should get him sorted this week.
I think, if they can get that deal sorted out this week, it's going to be a big one for Arsenal. And also remember, they left out Benjamin Sesko, out of that deal, and that looks like it's just rumors right now that Manchester United are looking like a team that could pick up Benjamin Sesko. So it's going to be a big one. If you lose out on Victor Gyökeres, you don't get him, and your another player that wanted to come to Arsenal, Benjamin Sesko, is now firing the goals for Manchester United. Come on, you go pay no. I know the small one.
But they have a 50 million pounds man right there. So just make do with 50 million pounds.
Actually, Liverpool are now. Hey.
No, they've done business now.
Liverpool are doing the business, so.
And they're still doing.
Hey, is he on this Felipe Coutinho's deal? Because
hey, a lot is happening. Tomorrow we'll talk a whole lot more about transfers tomorrow. Let's quickly head on to Euros for the female, because we're into the semi-finals already as far as that is concerned. And tomorrow it's England versus Italy. And of course, Germany will take on Spain. Four of the best female team in European football, no doubt. And this is going to be tough. England, Italy.
Really. It's really going to be tough right there. And, I'm expecting entertaining football. I remember the England had to scrap up that win, from a penalty shootout right there. So it's going to be a big one. Also, Italy, having to, get into this pole position after a long time, out of this, experience of, wonderful, stages in the Euro football. So we're expecting good football, between England and Italy.
And that's tomorrow, England, Italy, and on Wednesday, it's Germany taking on Spain. And don't forget the Copa America for the ladies also going on. Very interesting there. I'm seeing a lot of goals, but unfortunately we won't be able to talk about today because the director is already saying we have to go. That's the size of the show this beautiful Monday morning. Big thanks to Toluwani.
Thank you so much for having me, Boluwaji.
Absolutely. Bigger thanks to you for joining us today. On behalf of the entire production crew, I say thanks for watching once again. We'll be back tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Well, the Zambia player still gets a free kick.